In the Unresolved Problems segment tonight, while the Northeast continues to dig out ever so slowly from the weekend blizzard that dumped 2 feet of snow in many areas, there's a new crisis to contend with. We're apparently a nation of wussies, or so says Pennsylvania Governor Ed Rendell, while criticizing the NFL and the city of Philadelphia for canceling Sunday's football game between the Eagles and the Vikings.
This is part of the wussification of America. We used to be a country that had a great pioneer spirit, a sense of adventure, a sense of courage, that we could do anything. And we canceled a football game. At game time, there were less than 6 inches of snow on the ground in Philadelphia, less than 3 inches of snow on the ground in the western suburbs, less than 2 inches of snow on the ground in Wilmington. Good Lord, what were the people in Wyoming and Montana thinking? What were the people in Chicago, Boston, and even Pittsburgh thinking?
This is New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg showed no sympathy for city dwellers, complaining about the problems on the streets, on the rails, and in the air.
There's a lot of anger out there over this.
I'm angry too.
But part of the anger is over the discrepancy between your expressions of how adequate the response has been and what people are actually experiencing out on.
If your street was plowed, the response was adequate. If your street was not plowed, the response was inadequate. We cannot do everything all the time, and we are doing the best we can. I think that this city has pulled together. I don't think that we should sit around and think that the end of the world is here. We cannot be every place at all times. We will make mistakes, but we have to continue plugging ahead. Yelling about it and complaining doesn't help.
So are we getting soft? Joining us from L.A. radio star and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall, and from Memphis, radio talk show host Ben Ferguson. Ben, let's start with you. NFL, I say man up, NFL. Are you guys kidding me? Philly, are you kidding me? Canceling it. Snow bowls, fog bowls,
yeah.
The best TV you can possibly watch.
I mean, it doesn't. Sports is better any time that it's soaked and they're all running around. They can't get their footing, and guess what? They don't whine and complain about it. The problem is in this country is we become a big nanny, crybaby state where we expect the government to do everything. Oh my gosh, there's snow outside. You need to salt it. You need to ice it. You need to fix it. Oh my gosh, I can't find a job in over 2 years, so give me a check for 2 years. I mean, name the last time the government bailed us out of anything. And this is the same government now that we want to trust with our health care. That's the scary part.
You know what, Leslie? It's almost, look, we're here in New York. We hear the Philly fans saying, boy, we're pardon the expression, badass fans. And then the game gets canceled on them. Is Philly a wussy city?
Well, I think it's ridiculous when these guys get paid so much and they have all this equipment and you know, they smack each other constantly. So what if they can't see each other and they're smacking each other and bringing each other down in the football field? I'm from Boston originally, Eric, and I was on the last plane out of Logan, and I was listening to some sound bites of Bostonians going, it's winter, it snows, what do you expect? And it's true, blizzard is what you expect in Philly and New York, etc. But to tie healthcare in with football, Ben, that's almost as good as trying to tie Saddam Hussein in with Al-Qaeda.
Here's the point.
Danny State, go ahead.
Look at this president. This president ran on saying, for those of you that cannot take care of yourself, I'll do everything for you. And that's literally what government's done now. You don't have to work for 2 years and we'll give you a check. You don't have health insurance, we'll give it to you. You need food, we'll give you that too. And oh, by the way, we'll give you a free education and feed your kids for free at school. So we're now accustomed to this. We can't even shovel our own snow anymore.
Hey, Leslie, let me throw this in here. In addition to all that, when Mr. Obama was elected president, the duration, the amount of time you spent on the unemployment line was 19 weeks. That was when you had 26 available to you. Now it's 99 weeks, and guess how long people stay on the unemployment line? Double, almost 35 weeks. So, look, the nanny state is alive and kicking in the Obama administration.
Well, when you look at unemployment, I'm not sure how that ties into the snow, guys, and the president didn't call the game. But okay,
it's
I'll play.
It's a mentality,
all right?
Leslie.
Who created President Obama has been president for 2 years. Perhaps
I'm not
Americans
blaming
with
solely
their
him. I'm
Americans with their handouts, Ben. Americans have had their hands out. I'm not disputing that. What bothers me is, on the one hand, you have people saying less government, but there are plenty of people on the right who have no problem taking their Medicare and Social Security, and there are plenty of people on the right who want to have unemployment benefits extended and who look to the government for job creation. You can't have it both ways.
You have a cultural problem in this country, and if you want to blame both sides, I'm really okay with that. But the reality is, America now does not know how to stand up for itself and actually make do. I mean, you got snow plows now. My parents and grandparents didn't have that. You've got things that will literally, you can push along, they're automated to shoot the snow in your neighbor's yard. They didn't have those around 35 years ago, and guess what? No one complained then.
Do you know what we don't have today, which we did, and this is very true? You know, when I was a kid, my brothers used to go around shoveling snow for a few bucks, or just to be nice to that old woman or man down the street. Our kids aren't doing that today.
Well,
seriously, you know that.
Leslie, but here's what is happening. In New York, we had 20 inches of snow, one of the worst in history, within a day. There are people saying, hey, wait a minute, why isn't my street plowed? Why can't I get my car out? Why aren't all the buses and trains running? For goodness sakes, I mean, give them a break. Man up, toughen up a little bit, America. Go shovel your own snow.
Yeah, but in New York,
dig out your own car.
and you know, I've lived in New York. You guys pay huge taxes. I don't think it's bad to say, hey, I want my street plowed, especially when you see another plowed. Even the mayor himself
Leslie,
said it was not an adequate response if your street wasn't plowed.
But you're proving my point. No matter how much taxes you pay, government still flat out sucks at doing the basic things. So why do we give them more responsibility with things like health care when they can't even plow the snow that we pay so much for them to do?
All right, hang in there, guys. Before we go, less than a minute, Leslie, you got to respond to this. The mayor of Philadelphia, a Democrat. Why do the Democrats hate football so much?
Oh, the Democrats don't hate football. You also had a Democrat say we're a nation of wusses. You're terrible. I bet you most players in the NFL are Democrats. We're going to have to leave it there, you guys. Leslie and Ben, thank you guys a lot for joining. A lot of fun. All right, a radical Muslim cleric involved in